Alright guys, Stephen here, and first things first, I hope this video finds you well. We're living through kind of mad times at the moment, so I hope you're all doing good. Now, what I'm going to look at today is Nornir. Now, I know that I had said in previous videos that I was going to look at NetMiko and then Napalm because they are leveraged by Nornir, and then we were going to move on to Nornir itself, but despite the fact that the entire planet really is on lockdown, I have not had a lot of spare time at the moment. I'm in the youthful stages of doing my honours degree, or honours project more specifically. So a lot of my time over the last couple of weeks has been spent doing due diligence and getting to grips with technologies that I had never really practically used previously. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to amalgamate the Napalm getters video into this video and also use it as an opportunity to introduce Nornir. Now, what is Nornir? Now, Nornir is a network automation framework. Now, that framework word is critical. It is not the case that Nornir is designed to take the place of NetMiko or Napalm. Think of Nornir as a means by which you access much greater performance. Okay, so when I ran NetMiko scripts previously, whether it was to get information from devices or to push information to them, then we've seen that NetMiko went to core 1 and then core 2 and then distro 1 and then distro 2 and then it went through the access switches. Okay, so it done it in a kind of serial linear manner. What Nornir does is it allows you easy access to the abilities of Python to multi-process. Okay, so you can access multiple devices at the same time in parallel, and that means that the time taken for devices to return information or for information to get to devices is vastly reduced. What Nornir also adds on that I'm having a lot of fun with at the moment is the ability to introduce simple and complex filtering really easily. So you have much easier access to the ability to focus on devices based upon their membership of a group. Okay, so like in previous videos I've mentioned, all of these devices belong to one topology, but ultimately some of them belong to different groups. So you've got the access group, distribution and core, and you might want to do certain things on the access that you don't want to do on the core and distribution. Nornir has got filtering options that make that much easier, truth be told. Okay, so let's have a look at Nornir in a little bit more depth. First of all, it requires a few files in order to do what it does. Now, those are YAML files. We've covered off YAML previously. You should be familiar with YAML now, and if not, don't worry, it's really easy to get to grips with. But specifically, Nornir requires a few YAML files. Now, the first one we're going to look at is the hosts.yaml file. Okay, now if you Vim it, Stephen, that'd be a cracking start. If we look at this, there are some prerequisite bits of information in here that Nornir requires, in much the same way NetMiko required prerequisite bits of information. Okay, and the prerequisite bits of information are these here. Okay, groups is optional, you don't need to specify those, but these three bits of information are absolute must-haves. So host name, in this case it's the IP address that code 1 is going to be reachable at. Okay, now if I had code 1 listed in my Linux host file along with this IP address, I could refer to this as code 1 in here. Okay, but I don't have code 1 in my host file on Linux, so I've specified the IP address, and the username and password is just the username and password that's going to be used for SSH access to the devices. Okay, we can then specify groups that a device is part of. Okay, so we can see that all of these devices are part of the Cisco group because they all are Cisco devices, Cisco iOS devices. But additionally, core 1 is a member of the core group. Okay, now if we were to go down and we look at distro 1, we can see again we've got the IP address that it's reachable at, the username and password are the same across all devices. It is part of the Cisco group, It isn't part of the core group, but it is part of the distro group. Okay, now these bits, as I say, Netnico, or Nornir rather, has to be specified. These bits of information, you can then identify membership of a group at this stage. Everything that appears under this data key that you see here is ultimately arbitrary and optional. Okay, so I have, in essence, what I've done here is I have pasted this YAML file into the hosts.yaml file of Nornir. Okay, now in terms of going further with groups, okay, so we can see, as I say, that all devices are part of the Cisco group. Okay, so if we look at this groups.yaml file, we can see what relevance that has. Okay, so we can see Cisco group. Under that we've got platform. Platform has to be specified, but if it's not in the hosts.yaml file, it will inherit it from the groups.yaml file. So any device that is denoted as being part of the Cisco group in the host.yaml file will inherit this value from the groups.yaml file iOS. Now this becomes important when you come to use Nornir to, for example, use Napalm in order to interact with devices. Okay, now once you get beyond that, what you've got is a defaults.yaml. Okay, so if we say vim defaults.yaml, we can see that essentially we're specifying data. It is exactly the same as it provides the same information as the groups.yaml file, but what I wanted to do is put information in here that, whilst it won't actually be used, ultimately it's the same layout. It's just another YAML file that you specify data that is, or information that's going to be used in the lack of its presence elsewhere in either the host.yaml file or the groups.yaml file. Okay, now the final one that Nornir is going to require is the config.yaml file, and this is arguably the most important. Okay, so it specifies here core num workers, that's the amount the number of concurrent threads that Nornir is going to have access to. And the inventory, we're going to specify the inventory plugin. In this case, we're going to be using the simple inventory, and under here the options. Okay, so here we specify the path to the host file, the group file, and the defaults file. Okay, now if this is your first time looking at Nornir, this all takes from one end to the other maybe 10-15 minutes of reading. The documentation on Nornir is absolutely brilliant, truth be told. There's practical examples and really thorough descriptions of what all these files do, and a more in-depth description of the inheritance model. Okay, so this video is not designed to dive deep into the inheritance model, but if you want to know more about it, go to the Nornir, read the docs, it's all explained in there. Okay, now with that having been said, let's have a look at the script that we're going to run. Okay, so the script that we're going to run is essentially going to use Napalm's getters to retrieve information from devices. Okay, so the first thing you do, as with any script, is your imports. So from Nornir, we're going to import init Nornir. That is what allows you to initialize Nornir, and when you do that, you'll specify the position of the config, or the path to the config.yaml file, and from that config.yaml file, Nornir will get everything else that it needs, because you've specified in the config file where the hosts, groups, and defaults YAML files lie. Okay, now we're going to take from the nornir.plugins.function.text, we're going to import print result, because that's what's going to allow us to return the results of this script to the CLI, or the console. And then from the networking element of Nornir, we're going to import Napalm get. Okay, now first thing we have to do in a practical sense is, as I say, initialize Nornir. Okay, so we specify a variable name. NR seems to be the kind of standard for this. We say NR init Nornir. Be careful of the capitalization here, that matters. Okay, and within the brackets we simply specify config_file equals the name of your config file. Now it just so happens that this script lies in the same directory as my config.yaml file. Okay, if it didn't, okay, for any reason you are running a script from a different directory, you will have to specify an absolute path to your config.yaml file. Okay, otherwise the script will fail, it won't initialize Nornir, and it won't work. Okay, dry run is kind of redundant here because we're only going to be getting information from devices, but dry run essentially allows you the ability to preview what you're going to send to devices before you actually do it. Okay, so it's a kind of fail safe. Okay, now what I'm then going to do is, or I have done, is I specified a variable called results. Now results is going to be the result of taking nr, which by this point is the host file, the groups file, and so on and so forth. We're going to use the run method against it, and in the brackets we're going to specify what we're going to be running. Now in this case you need to use the phrase task. That's how Nornir knows what you actually want to do. Okay, and here we can see Napalm get, which we imported up here. Now to introduce you to Napalm is essentially an abstraction layer. Okay, it was created by David Barroso, and what it essentially does is it provides a layer of abstraction, as I say, between you and the devices that you're accessing. So depending on your devices, you'll specify a platform. Based upon that platform, Napalm will know what commands it needs to run in order to do what you're asking of it. Now in this video, all we're asking Napalm to do is get us some information from devices. Now in Napalm parlance, those are called getters. Okay, Napalm has a get method, and get method has access to getters. So the getters in this case are facts, which is going to be things like the device serial number and so on and so forth, and interfaces, which is essentially information about the interfaces on each device. Now there's no commands written here with Napalm. That's the absolutely amazing thing about it. It does so much of the work for you. You don't need to think about what commands or what syntax, or if you're on an iOS device or an Nexus device, some of the syntax is different to do the same thing. You don't have to think about that. Okay, you've specified the platform that's going to be accessing in either your host.yaml, your groups, or your defaults.yaml, and when Napalm accesses the device with the benefit of Nornir, it sees that platform, sees the getter that you want, and it automatically knows which commands it has to run in order to retrieve the information that you're asking for. Okay, it is device agnostic if you want to look at it that way. Okay, so here we specify results as a result of taking the contents of the initialized Nornir variable, using Nornir's.run method to run a Napalm get to get the facts about the devices and information about the interfaces for each device. And then all we're going to do is use print result, which we imported up here, and we print the contents of results, which in this case is going to be all the facts and all the information about each interface on all of the devices in the host.yaml file. Okay, now if we exit out of this and run the script, you will quickly see exactly how much quicker this is as compared to something like NetMiko. And again, I'm not having a go at NetMiko or Napalm. NetMiko is the first tool that I learnt to use. It was my introduction to Python. I'll always look upon it fondly, but the difference in speed is stark. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I'm going to run this script, and we'll watch just how much faster this is. Now there is a little bit of a delay whilst Nornir initializes and so on and so forth, but once it starts running, it's significantly quicker. Okay, so there we go. As you've seen by that flying by on the screen there, it takes a little, maybe 5-10 seconds to go, but it's now gone to 9 devices, ran all the show commands that it requires to get me all the information that I've asked for, and returned it to me. Okay, so if we go to the top of these results here, okay, there's access 3, it prints them in alphabetical order. Okay, so we can see it's returned facts. Okay, so here we can see the fully qualified domain name. The host name is access1. It's got a list of interfaces that are currently in place on this device. It's an iOS V device. It gives you the OS version, the serial number. Then we've got interfaces. That was the second getter that we ran. Okay, and we can see here that it returns all of it. Okay, so we've got all the gigabit Ethernet interfaces that are on each of these devices. We've got the two VLAN interfaces that we've got, and that's the same for all of these devices. Okay, access 2, access 3, access 4, all the way down to distro 1 and distro 2. Alright, now you can see how much faster it is. Okay, it's significantly faster, and this is only on 9 devices. Okay, as you start to scale up, the benefits of this become more and more. There is information available on the internet about how much faster. As I said, David Barroso, Kirk Byers, Dimitri Fiegel have done an unbelievable job on Nornir. So I would encourage you, if you've not already done so, go and read about it. There's a cracking video by Dimitri Fiegel from Cisco Live back in January 2020 that shows you more about this, and he's one of the creators, so he'll put it much more eloquently than me, I would imagine. But for the time being, thanks very much for watching. Next time, what we're going to do is look at Nornir's ability to create complex filters. Alright, cheers.